Hey, I'm Jacqueline, and welcome to In the Know. This is our weekly video show designed to keep you up to date on the most exciting innovations across the QuickBooks ecosystem. Today, we're discussing desktop to online migration. We heard that ProAdvisors want to migrate multiple company files from desktop to QuickBooks Online at once, instead of having to do this one by one. So we're excited to share more about a new accountant batch migration tool designed specifically for you, so that you can move up to 50 of your clients' QuickBooks Desktop files online at once, including payroll and payments data. And now for the fast facts. This batch migration tool is available to accountants with QuickBooks Desktop Accountant versions 2021 through 2024. You can access it by visiting QuickBooks Desktop, then clicking on Menu, then Company, then Migrate Multiple Files. The Accountant Batch Migration tool has been live since January 2024 in the US. If you find this update interesting or helpful, go ahead and like, subscribe, and hit that bell to get notified. All right, let me introduce you to Roshan, who is the talented product designer behind this exciting update. Roshan, welcome.
Hey, I'm Roshan. I'm here to show you the new batch migration tool for accountants. So once you open one of the 5 desktop company files that you would like to migrate, you can access the batch migration tool under the company menu bar. Go to the migrate multiple company files to QuickBooks Online option. Our batch migration tool opens up. Then open the migration dashboard to migrate them all at once. So to add the currently open company file, click on the add button. The migration list will update accordingly. And then once that is added, you can go ahead and add another company file by clicking on add another company file. So once you click on it, your file selector opens up where you can select the second company file that you want to add. Once you click on that, we open the next company file and you can add this particular company file also to the migration list. So let's assume that you have 5 files for migration and you have added all the 5 files in the migration list. Once you have done this, we can now open the migration dashboard. We will ask you to sign into your Intuit account, post which we will land you to the migration dashboard. So in the migration dashboard, you will find all the files that you have added to the migration list is already present here. Apart from that, we have also by default auto-mapped all these desktop company files to the relevant QuickBooks Online company files that you are associated with. This is done based on the names that you have given to the company files, and we have matched the most similar sounding names to each of the desktop company files that you have uploaded. So if you click on migrate selected files, it will provide you the next action item that you can do. In case there are any errors during migration, we will also let you know that, and we will also give you the next best step that you can take to fix that particular error. For example, in cases where migration has failed, we will let you connect to an expert. You can schedule a chat or an appointment with an expert to solve the issue. And also, in case there is migration happening but the values are mismatching between desktop and online, we provide you with a summary of what is matching and what is not matching, along with links to the reports for you to dig deeper into the mismatch. And in any off cases where you are not able to migrate to a particular online company, we let you know that as well with reasons. And also you can connect to an expert through an action button here itself, which lets you fill out a conversion request form, which will be taken by our professional services team, and we will migrate that particular file for you. That's all about the accountant batch migration tool. Thank you so much for having me in the In the Know episode.
Roshan, thank you so much for being on the show. We're so happy to have you. We'll turn now to ProAdvisors Kenji Kuramoto and Nayo Carter-Gray for them to weigh in. Kenji, Nayo, thank you so much for being here with us on the show. So excited to have you and talk all things accountant batch migration. So Kenji, let me start with you. Would love to get your perspective on how you talk to those clients who are still on desktop and get them to realize the value of moving to the cloud.
I'm always still a little surprised when we find someone on desktop, but to be honest, there are many who are still out there on it. For us as a firm, and I think actually this is becoming much more common, we actually tell prospective clients that if you'd like us to help outsource your accounting to us and work with you, we actually need it to be on one of the cloud versions of QuickBooks Online. So we actually have to make sure that they are in an online state for us to work with them. So migrating them off of desktop is actually imperative for working with us. And I think that's becoming much more common these days for modern accounting practices.
And I'm the same way. We have QuickBooks Desktop, but it's really only to migrate those customers off onto QuickBooks Online. A lot of the reason why is because, I don't like to be chained to my desk. And my clients are very enterprising and they don't either. So I really kind of, tell them the benefit about being able to work with QuickBooks Online. The fact that as long as you have an internet connection, you can access your books. It's safer because if anything happens to that device, you don't have to worry about it because your books are saved to the cloud, which makes it easier to work with me, my team, and for them to not be stressed about having to worry about, I got to get to the computer to turn it on so Nayo can access it. Like, we're not doing any of that anymore.
So Nayo, you and I have had many conversations about how important client onboarding is and how that helps set up the entire tone of the relationship moving forward. But I have also heard that it's pretty tedious to migrate clients from desktop to the cloud. So how does a tool like Accountant Batch Migration really help ease that transition?
In my opinion, it is tedious. It's one of the reasons why we decided to stop working with desktop, some years ago. And being able to migrate multiple clients now to the cloud is just going to save a bunch of time if you were primarily used to working in desktop. Anytime we can bulk action something, I'm all for it. And then the way this tool is set up is pretty slick. So as you're upgrading those clients to QuickBooks Online, if anything's going wrong, you'll see it right there on that migration screen. So there's no surprises. You can actually put one person in charge of the migration, so you don't have to have your whole team trying to work on it. I just love being able to do things streamlined. And so I feel like this tool is really going to help streamline for those accountants who are looking to take their firms virtual, because they can do it a whole lot faster now.
Yeah, totally agree with Nayo. In fact, at our firm, we actually track a metric of number of days in onboarding. That's how important it is for us to make sure onboarding it does not take too long. So we're tracking every new client, how many days they've been in onboarding. So any type of tools, or as Nayo mentioned, anywhere there's a batch action to do things much more efficiently across a group of clients, it is so helpful for us. So yes, this is a very important tool in being able to kind of online, especially when you're looking at sometimes new clients who have multiple entities. So very, very helpful.
Sure.
I never even thought to track the number of days in onboarding. So if you weren't taking the notes, I'm taking notes because Kenji here is super smart, runs a very successful firm. Right. And if he says to do something now, I'm going to do it too.
Kenji, I'm curious. So I know that Acuity's made some acquisitions in the past few years. As part of that process, was there a time when you had to migrate multiple clients from desktop to the cloud?
Absolutely. The very first acquisition we did, we specifically targeted a non-cloud firm. We were looking to, and this was a great firm, but it was a kind of a legacy older firm. And the business owner who we purchased it from, he had always wanted to kind of migrate to the cloud, but always kind of was a little nervous about it. We told him as part of the acquisition, we're going to do this, and he was excited about it. And so then you're talking not just about onboarding a client or a client with multiple entities. We have multiple clients we're onboarding, lots of multiple entities. So it was at scale. So having a methodology or a way, or especially even a tool that's going to help you pull all that together much more efficiently. Oh my gosh, it's a huge, huge time saver because, as we mentioned, onboarding is already challenging. Integrating of two firms and their clients, that's a whole next level. And so it is imperative to have tools like this.
Man, that sounds good. Like if anybody's out there considering acquiring a firm from, a retiring accountant, this tool sounds like it's going to help. I didn't even think of that. Kenji. Like that's pretty cool.
Nayo, once you're on the happy end of having migrated your client from desktop to the cloud and they're in the cloud, are there quick wins or ways that you then communicate the value back to them? Like, hey, you're in the cloud now. This is what it means for you.
That first initial invitation when they get to see, hey, your QuickBooks Online account has been set up and all your data is there. So, I tell them when they get that email, they should be celebrating because that means we're that much closer to being able to work together more efficiently. So, it sounds crazy. It's like, who's looking out for an email that says sign up for your new account? But really, it's a time to celebrate because we've made a massive change and it is really helping to move them in the right direction.
Kenji, Nayo, thank you so much for being on this episode and for having a little bit of fun with us on the show and for just helping up-level the thinking around moving from desktop to the cloud and, again, how this really lends itself towards working more efficiently and ultimately better advisory. So appreciate you both, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for having us.
Sounds good.
Bye.
See
you. And thank you for watching this episode. I'm Jacqueline, the host of In the Know and leader of ProAdvisor training and certification. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss a single episode. We'll catch you next time.